Alright, so I wanted to bring you guys some more Micro Wars, because I'm pretty hyped for Micro Wars. So we're going to have Jeff Katz, of Jeff Katz fame, of casting fame, taking on Kenny, who you guys should also know, one of the big tournament organizers in Rivals. So we've got Jeffrey versus Kenny. We've got Elias versus Chapman. Now, I'm not 100% sure on everything yet. I believe that Elias's commander power is a healing beam that does an AoE heal. So think Liang, but without the drone. And I believe Jeffrey's commander power is spawn a rifleman for every building you have. This is on Steam, but it's not early access yet, Jamie. So yeah, anyway, we're going to start off this game here. We're playing Around the Bend. You can see that in a two-player game, you can zoom out to the point where you can see it all on one screen pretty easily. I know this has been a complaint that we were talking about. And I agree it's a problem. Like, if you're playing on mobile, you don't want to scroll the map. That definitely sucks. But hopefully, you can just play, like, maps like one. Hopefully, maps will be about this size, and it'll be possible to play them zoomed out. And you can just, I mean, you can zoom out a bunch. Obviously, it's harder to control your units then. But hopefully, you'll be able to play on one screen and not have to scroll too much. Alright, so in terms of opening, both players have gone for a refinery opening. Pretty standard. The only building you can build pre-refinery is a barracks. Kenny's immediately got himself a factory as his second building. Jeffrey's gone for the barracks. Now this here, this water here, you can't cross this with vehicles. So that's probably why Jeffrey went for the barracks, so that he could get infantry onto the middle to capture this radar tower. Now radar tower gives you a big boost in vision. So Jeffrey is going to have more vision. He's going to be able to see what Kenny is up to over in Kenny's base. Kenny went for the factory, which allowed him to build a second harvester quickly. So Kenny is going to have a slightly better economy. Having said that, Jeffrey's immediately built his second refinery. So he's also going to be on 2 harvester. We now see Kenny's gone 3 harvester. His refinery is a little bit off-centered from the tip patch. So I think the 3rd harvester will be okay. I don't think it'll oversaturate it because of the distance they have to travel. Yeah, you can see here. You can see how long this guy will wait for. That's the oversaturation. And then we have 2 comms towers at the top, which Kenny's claimed both of. Comms towers give a damage boost to your units of about 10%, I think. I'm not sure on the percentage. So actually, Kenny's units are going to be better than Jeffrey's. And you can see here, this rocket trooper is fighting a trike. Now, a trike is basically a squad buggy. You can see the rocket trooper got absolutely annihilated. There's 2 reasons for this. 1, Kenny has double communications tower. But 2, Jeffrey was inside this forest, which gives him a defensive bonus. You see these 3 stars here? This means his units have a bigger defensive bonus. So there is like a little bit of terrain bonus as well. So we've got Kenny making a rifleman here to try and fight Jeffrey's rifleman. We do have barracks on both sides now. Kenny does have his second refinery up as well. Jeffrey has 2 refineries, but he does not yet have additional harvesters. So there's a way to saturate your refinery. The way to saturate Tiberium is 2 harvesters per refinery, 2 refineries per patch. So you can actually have 4 harvesters on a single tip patch. As you can see, Kenny is taking a commanding lead. This is A, because he has the economic advantage. He's got 4 harvesters to 2. So he's making a lot more money. But these 2 comms towers are actually a massive deal. I don't think Jeffrey realizes, but his units are way weaker because Kenny has double communications tower. We finally see the 3rd harvester from Jeffrey. So he is going to be catching up in the economy, hopefully. But yeah, look at this trike versus this rocket trooper. It's absolutely obliterating it. This should not win this badly. This is because of the double comms tower. Alright, so we see Jeffrey getting a tank now. Tank is a great counter to the trike, of course. Light tank is basically Scorpion or Predator. It's kind of like a squad Scorpion. This is going to absolutely smash these trikes, because they are, of course, not an anti-vehicle unit. So we see Kenny is losing control over here. Jeffrey retakes control of his base area. But yeah, these neutral buildings, I believe these are in here to create, you know, tension and avoid turtling, because you do want to go and capture them. Jeffrey's finally going to capture this comms tower from Kenny. This is going to make a big difference in the balance. Like, so far Kenny has been dominating because of these things, but now without them in play, with Jeffrey having his one commanded as well, we're going to be tied up again in power level. So now the units are finally going to be tied up and equal power. Oh, but Kenny's taking it back immediately. Do see quite a lot. Oh, here we go. Jeffrey's finally got his tech lab up. So we might see some big units from Jeffrey. Yeah, there you go. You see he's researching the artillery immediately. Artillery is basically... Artillery is like... Imagine artillery from Rivals, but it leaves Inferno fire, and it shoots 3 tiles like a Juggernaut. So artillery is absolutely terrifying in this game. It is ultra late game. You have to have a war factory, a tech lab, and pay 90 to research the artillery. And then the first artillery also costs about 90, I think. Maybe even more than that. But its power level is extremely high. So we see Kenny building a second factory here. There's 2 reasons for this. Firstly, the additional factory, I believe, speeds up how fast your vehicles build. But secondly, any additional production building increases your maximum pop cap, which means you can get more units onto the field without having any negative effects. We do also see Kenny's tech lab. I think I must have missed him building this. So Kenny does also have tech lab. He's opted to go for heavy trooper as his first tech unit. This is kind of like, I guess it's like a grenadier. I think it doesn't shoot up, so I believe it's like a grenadier. It's like a heavy anti-vehicle unit. You can see up here it's obliterating some trikes. So he decided to go heavy trooper first. Jeffrey's gone straight in for the artillery. Here we go. We're going to see the artillery fire. It does take a very long time, but there it goes. It does fire. Immediately slaughters that rifleman. So you can see the power level of this unit. 3 range. Absolutely obliterates basically everything it hits. But he doesn't have good blockers for it. So here we go. Kenny's managed to get a heavy trooper next to the artillery. Oh, and the artillery's firing on this trike. That is awkward. Artillery completely whiffs its shot. And the artillery is going to go down to the heavy troopers. This puts Kenny miles ahead now. Kenny in a commanding position. You see Jeffrey's immediately trying to switch into light drones. This is a great play by Jeffrey because none of these units shoot up. And light drone is basically drone swarm. So this thing is going to be able to clean up these heavy troopers. This is going to catch Jeffrey back up, I think. He's going to be okay here because of these drone swarms. We see Kenny's making drone swarm as well, but it's a lot worse because Jeffrey doesn't have good targets for it. Jeffrey building another artillery. We just saw Kenny building his first bomber drone. This thing is basically Inferno. It only hits 1 tile, but it's effectively Inferno from Rivals. However, Jeffrey, is mostly in air now with his light drones. He does have the artillery, so we're probably going to see the bomber drone coming out to clear that. And here we have cruise missile from Jeffrey. This is kind of like air scarab. It's a scarab that flies and shoots air and vehicles. But here Kenny's researched and built some anti-air. There isn't really an equivalent. This is like a super buggy. It's like a very expensive. It's not even that expensive. It's like a buggy that requires tech. But then it's really, really powerful buggy. So like we're going to see it come in here. It is going to get shot by the artillery though. You see how quickly it kills these drone swarms?
Come get some.
It slaughters drone swarm. Oh, but he's countering the artillery fire with his commander power. There you see, there is the commander power healing up, and it's actually beating the artillery, and the bomber drone comes in, takes out the artillery. So Inferno effectively clearing out that artillery there. Really back and forth game here, but the cruise missiles are going to come in. They're going to clear up the artillery here. Oh, sorry, not artillery, the Inferno. But we do have heavy troopers taking down the light tank. Jeffrey now spamming cruise missiles. Kenny's getting in on these harvesters. Look how quickly they go down to these heavy troopers. Once these harvesters fall, it's going to be really tough for Jeffrey to catch back up. If he loses both of them, I think that's going to be GG. Oh, there it is. It's going to go down. Oh, no, he turned around. He didn't kill it. Oh, Kenny, big misplay there. Not sure why he didn't kill that. We see a light tank coming out, but it's going to be a little bit too late. 2 harvesters down now for Jeffrey. His economy is in shambles. I think Jeffrey needs to rebuild harvesters. I think that's his only chance. There's already another bomber drone on the way. And I think the writing is on the wall at this point. Jeffrey too far behind economically. Kenny just needs to push his economic lead. And we should see him take over this game. Kenny's trying to retake that radar tower to get control of the map. But here you see here come the air scarabs. Kenny trying to block with the light drone. As another cruise missile comes in, trying to take care of this bomber drone. Bomber drone hits the rocket troops, take them down. Cruise missiles trying to clear the bomber drone, not doing a great job, honestly. As we see anti-air from Jeffrey. Jeffrey also has anti-air in his deck. I think these decks look very similar, honestly. But yeah, as we see, the writing is on the wall. Kenny, 4 harvester versus 1 from Jeffrey. Kenny just needs to take this economic advantage and push it to the max. as we see Kenny trying to take over the second comms tower. Jeffrey pulls out light tank and anti-air. Oh, but here comes the Inferno. Bomber drone coming in. Is the anti-air going to clear it in time? No, it does fire. Doesn't clear the anti-air, though. Anti-air does clear the bomber drone, but it's very low now. Almost off the map. Kenny with the rifle trooper, building another bomber drone and a heavy trooper. Jeffrey with rocket trooper. It's looking like Jeffrey's holding on really well, considering how far behind he is in money. I think he's the efficiency of the cruise missiles against the bomber drones is helping out quite a lot here. But Kenny should be able to take this down once he pushes in. Jeffrey, a valiant effort. I believe Heavy Trooper does not shoot up. I think Heavy Trooper is basically like a Grenadier. Heavy Trooper is going to easily clear these damaged anti-air. Anti-air is an anti-infantry unit, but it was so damaged it didn't stand a chance. Rifleman heading back to take out that comms tower. We've got anti-air taking another comms tower. Once both comms towers are claimed, it's going to be very difficult for Jeffrey. We saw at the start how much he was struggling because of the double comms tower. Rocket Trooper doesn't stand a chance against the AA because it's such high tier. Although the AA is running away, I don't think it needed to do that. Here comes another cruise missile. Trying to come in. Kenny sees it coming though. He's moving out of the way. But all he has to block is rifle troopers. Another anti-air on the way. Jeffrey, so low on economy, but holding on. Here come the cruise missiles. One hits. Anti-air from Kenny trying to stop them. Second, third cruise missile hits, but the bomber drone is still up. Wow, and the cruise missile's clearing the anti-air there. That's awkward. As another anti-air comes out for Kenny. Kenny just spamming these anti-airs now. Jeffrey in shambles. Only 23 resources. I don't know what the resources are called in this game. I guess we could just call them Tiberium still. Oh, Jeffrey in trouble here. Not sure he can hold against the onslaught for much longer as we get two bomber drones coming in. First bomber drone does get its load off just in time as the anti-air clears it. Second bomber drone making its way across. We've got anti-air fighting anti-air. Rocket trooper coming in to clear the anti-air. No retarget from Kenny, so those rocket troopers are doing a lot of damage. But this looks like he's finally pushed in. I think we're finally going to see game over here. As Kenny overwhelms Jeffrey with his economic advantage. The heavy troopers are clearing the AA. He's got an uncontested bomber drone. He's heading down to clear the last harvester. Jeffrey's finally building a new harvester, but I think it's too little too late. There it is. Bomber drone hits the halve. It's going to do about half the life with that fire damage. Another light drone coming in. Really, it's just writing us on the wall here. Just waiting for this to finish. I think Kenny could probably attack the headquarters at this point and clear it out. He's going to clear out that new harvester. He's going to clear out the old harvester. I think that's it. Jeffrey has no harvesters left. I think that's going to be, yep, that's Jeffrey's last harvester. I think he has no... I guess he has some base income because he's still gaining money. But yeah, as you can see, Kenny all over his base. I feel like Jeffrey should probably concede at this point. I don't know if he's like maybe... Yeah, it is. I don't know if he was holding off on the concession for the video, but he could have definitely conceded sooner. Alright, so there you go, Kenny. You got the resources collected. He collected only about 500 more resources. I'm surprised it was such a close... That is not that different in resources, considering how long Kenny had like 2 extra or 3 extra harvesters for. But yeah, there you go. Kenny does take down Jeffrey. And there you have it, a 1v1 in Micro Wars. Alright, so I'll see you guys next time.